Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this lecture. This lecture we're going to look at geolocation routing policy, and it is a lab, so you will need to log into the AWS console. First, what is geolocation? Well, it lets you route your traffic depending on the geographical location of your users, so the location in which the DNS queries originate from. So for example, you might want all queries from Europe to be routed to a fleet of EC2 instances that are specifically configured for your European customers. And these servers might have like the local languages of your European customers installed on them, and all the prices are displayed in euros. So we've got our European customers, and they're making a request. It goes to Route 53, and that is then going to route our European customers to our EC2 European fleet. And then our US customers, they connect into Route 53, and that's going to go over to our US EC2 fleet. So that's it. It is really, really simple. It's very easy to set up. So let's log into the AWS console. Okay, so I'm in the AWS console. I'm going to go over to services, and I'm going to go down to Route 53. And in Route 53, I'm just going to go over to my hosted zones and click in here. I'm going to delete the ones from the last lecture. So just go ahead and delete the record sets and hit confirm. Now we're going to create a record set. In here, we're going to leave it as the naked domain name or zone apex record. And in here, I'm going to use an alias. And the alias I'm going to use will be my European one. And in here, I'm going to go for geolocation. Now, in geolocation, so this is where your end users are located. So we can do it by continent. So we can say Europe, all our European customers go to our London one. You can do it by specific countries. And for the US, you can even do it by specific states. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say all my European customers. I'm going to call it European DNS queries. And we're going to leave the target health and the associate with health check as no. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit create. Now we're going to go and create a new record set. We're going to make it an alias record, use our zone apex record, and in here we'll do Sydney. I'm going to change our geolocation, and in here it says location. So let's choose default, which will basically be everywhere else. And so I'm just going to say everywhere else. And I'm just going to leave everything else as no. I'm going to hit go ahead and hit create. Okay, so we've got our two records right now. So this is geolocation. This is the asterisk, so it's basically everywhere else. So all my European customers will go to London. The rest of my customers will go over to Sydney. So let's test this. I'm just going to go back up here. I've already got Hello Cloud Gurus open. Just going to hit refresh, and you can see it's hitting our London web servers. I'm just going to fire up a VPN client now. Okay, so I've got my VPN client fired up, and I can see here I've got a whole list of different countries. I'm going to choose one that is fast but is not within Europe. So let's go ahead and go over to USA, New York. I'm going to connect into that, so it's relatively quick, I mean. Okay, so that's now connected. I'm just going to Alt Tab back over to Chrome. Just go back over here and refresh the page. So I'm just going to refresh the page, and you can see here it says hellocloudgurus.com page isn't working. So why is that? Well, it's because we stopped our Sydney instance in the last lecture and we didn't start it back up again. So if I go ahead and hit start, go ahead and hit yes, this will take a couple of minutes to come back online. So I'm just going to pause the video. Okay, so my EC2 instance is now online, and I'm just going to go here and hit refresh, and hopefully that will say, yes, there we go. Hello Cloud Gurus, this is Sydney Web Server 1. If I actually disconnect my VPN, go ahead and hit disconnect. It'll take a couple of seconds to disconnect, and then if I go back here and refresh, so there we go, disconnected. If I go back here and now hit refresh, back to London. So it's all based off the geolocation. It's all based off my local IP address from where I'm connecting into. So that's it for this lecture, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, feel free to move on to the next lecture where we're going to summarize what we learned.